Welcome everybody to PinstripeChronicles podcast. I'm Tats and I'm here with Donald. Evan and Rob are not available. We hope they're okay. Uh,
And
that
then
was
there were two.
yep. Then we had a 2-game set with the Phillies, and now it's just the two of us. So, uh,
Just the two of us.
yep.
We can make it if we try. Just the two of us.
So it was one of those games where it felt like a giveaway game to Philly, especially putting Wajo as the starter, which didn't make any sense. If you were going to make that move, I don't know why they didn't bring up either Debbie Garcia, give him a start if you were going to make it, if you weren't going to take the game seriously, or Michael King. Everybody forgot about Michael King.
Or Sessa.
Sessa, I think, he threw a lot of pitches in his last two outings. He was not available.
Was he unavailable? Okay.
Which was the same thing with Green. They wanted Green to get the day's rest and Sessa, I think, before the Boston series. So I think the bullpen use.
You're right. They were basically, once again, they did what the analytics staff wanted, where they set up for a future series, where they were like, this game is the giveaway game, and we'll kick it on for the Boston series. Remember they did that for the entire series against Detroit, and they got a sweat.
Yeah, it backfired on them. I think with the way this team is playing now, I think this time around can work in their favor. Having Green is against for 3 to 4 against Boston is going to be more important than one night against Philly. So I think it was a cut your nose to spite your face type of thing, and it really was on the verge of backfiring after that implosion. But here we are again.
What's interesting? We talked about it in yesterday's podcast, bro. And we were like, this has been set up as a giveaway game. However, with the fact that we've got guys that are playing for their careers and their futures, that they're going to play their asses off, and that's what worked in our favor, and that's what pulled it out in the end. You know what I mean? Because the pitching that we saw, much of it was semi-disastrous for basically much of the game, but our guys played their asses off. So
no, that's why I'm saying this time around, this wasn't. I don't think this is going to set up the downfall like it did with Detroit, because of the way this team is playing right now and utilizing various aspects of baseball, whether it's power, speed, pitching, defense. It's this week it's all come together. I think that's why this go around with Boston, sitting Green and Sessa is going to be more of a benefit than a downfall. So, but that's
well, wait and see, man, because you can't. My issue with it is you can't. What are you going to say?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. Well, I said was the issue with that is you have to take it on a game by game basis, and that's what I was. We basically had a 3-run.
Yeah, you're having an audio issue.
Which basically backfired, because and that's such a big problem. So we got away with it, but I was so that's been such a big
yeah, you're having a little
inclusion
audio issue
to our all fans.
I don't know if you could hear it on your end.
Right. Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yeah, you're kind of freezing up on a little bit.
Yeah.
But I thought that, and it was rinse and repeat again with Greg Allen. It seems like every time the Yankees have something positive going, he's right in the center of it. And I think the smartest thing that the Yankees can do is, even when the COVID guys come back, he has to remain on the roster. I think they have to keep him up, and make with the trade deadline, I think it actually gives the Yankees a breath of fresh air a little bit, because at least now you have a little flexibility with your outfield, where you can maybe you have more room to play around with some of the players you are expecting to move.
Yeah, I was thinking about what our outfield. I was thinking a lot about what our outfield alignment's going to be moving forward. That's going to be interesting when Judge gets back.
Yeah.
I don't know when Frazier's going to be back. It looks like he's out
Yeah,
for a while, or
I don't
any,
think we're going to
news
see
on any
Frazier
hard.
for.
What's up?
We might not see him. I don't think we're going to see him until September call-ups type of situation. I think they're going to leave him where
Wow.
he is.
Right. Okay. And what about Andujar? Do you know anything with what's going on with that?
I don't know when. I haven't seen a report on when he's coming back. I think with the
No.
maybe after the Boston series is a better chance time to see him come back, because you don't want. Like I said, I don't want to see Andujar in left field at Fenway. I think that's kind of setting him up for failure. I don't think he's developed as an
No,
outfielder.
but my point is, I'm very interested to see what's going to happen because Lamar got a huge walk off,
Oh yeah,
and you saw the energy that he put into that when he got that walk off. He was jumping, and it's like it was a real freaking. That was that was exciting to watch, and then you got Allen who's playing his balls off right now,
Yep.
and so you don't want to see these guys go away.
There were a lot of turning points that throughout the game. The turning point for me in the game was the extra inning in the 10th, when you have Sanchez at second base and you have Torres at the plate, and that bunt he put down really just confused the infield. All right, I think we have our technical issues taken care of. So we had started talking about Nick Nelson's expected outing, when because that's really all you can say. It was, don't count on me, Nelson. It's you can't. I don't know why they keep trusting this guy. It's really, of all the pitchers that are in the minor leagues, he's the one that you bring up to and put into a crucial situation. It was like Boone kept trying to hand that game.
I would rather Barney
Who?
I would rather Barney the dinosaur pitch than Nick Nelson.
Yeah, exactly. At least he'll be smiling. We'll get a little song along with it.
He'll be singing, he'll be smiling.
I mean, it is that. I mean, I think that's what Boone sings to himself. When he walks to the locker room. Because
what, Barney the dinosaur songs.
So all right, so we have a crucial series now against the Red Sox, and we have Monty taking game one against Hulk. I think.
How do you pronounce it? Is it Hook or is it Hulk?
I'm going to say Hulk. If it's wrong, they'll correct me.
I'm going to go Hook, like the Steven Spielberg movie. That's what I'm going to go with.
All right.
Hook.
So, but I think that this is a game they have to come out. I think game one is the most important one. They have to, after taking the last two against them last series. They need to take the first game this one, especially with the momentum that they have. And I think having Montgomery on the mound, he's been a very underappreciated pitcher in this rotation. And we've talked about it.
We need to give some run support, bro.
That's the thing. I think now with this new mentality in the dugout, this is a roster that can give him that run support. So. They'll be able, they have the speed to maybe swipe the extra base off the green monster, where in the past we didn't have that speed and agility to do so. So I think that's going to be a key factor with some of these guys in the middle and the back end of their lineup. You're going to be able to see Greg Allen, be able to, take the extra base. It's very important that we take game one.
Well, I've got a stat for you. We've got Florial, Lamar, and Greg Allen, right? And they're in the last 5 games, they've got 9 runs, 7 ribbies and 5 stolen bases and a 1.2 OPS between them. It just shows what a difference they've made in 5 games. They've provided so much energy. They're creating runs. They're stealing bases. It's exciting to watch. It's the kind of baseball that I've been wanting to watch all year, and it basically shoves a fist right up the fucking asses of the analytics guys who tell us that this is not how they want baseball to be played. This is exactly how baseball should be played. It's great.
Well, I think that's what's kind of changed the atmosphere amongst some of the fans. Even myself, I was starting to get really down on this team, and I try to be a very optimistic person. But we're seeing, the way that they're playing, it's this team is now fun to watch again. And it doesn't matter, the Yankee fans, like me, I don't care what the name on the jersey is, I don't care who's in the lineup, just perform, and utilize, use your strength. And the fact that this team and the lineup is now balanced, maybe this will wake up the front office and get Cashman to say, you know what? Maybe we were going about this the wrong way. Maybe this is what we need to go back to doing. And this could be that stress that propels them to a significant run for the postseason.
It wasn't even the wins and losses for me that was really, really angering me over the
lifelessness.
The year. It was the lack of effort, and it was palpable. I mean, the lack of athleticism was annoying, but you knew that's how they've been set up. But the lack of effort was galling to me. And now you're seeing what a difference it makes to have guys like Allen and Florio and Lamar who put so much into it. They're playing their asses off. And even Lamar, after he hit the walk-off, he was interviewed and he says it means so much to me to be a New York Yankee. That's what it should do. That's
exactly.
That's the guys that have been taking it for granted. You got Frazier, he's like, and he's all fucking Instagram and nice speakers, and he's been like that and fucking Instagramming his fiance every fucking God knows how long. And I think that's what he's been focused on. But then you got guys that are hustling. Fucking Charlie Hustle over there, Allen, stealing bases, getting doubles, stealing third, all these kind of things. You know what fucking difference that makes, man. And as you say, it's the effort. It's the effort that I want to see. I'm not too worried about wins and losses, even though we're the Yankees, we need to fucking win. But the biggest thing for me was effort. Now that we're seeing it, I'm a lot happier to watch the team.
Well, exactly, because you go back to the Boston game where Eberge went down, Lamar was put in as a replacement. He almost tweaked himself, where he almost got hurt, and he refused to come out of the game. Yep. It's like you don't get not everybody is privileged to wear this uniform. Right. I'm not coming out of this game. I'm fighting this out. If it ends me, it ends me. He was going to love to see it. He was going to live and die on the hill of I'm here and I'm not going away.
And you love to see it because we've paid Ellsbury and Pavano, and they spent 3 years just away from the ball club. Yeah, taking like fucking $20 million a year and complaining of a sore asshole. And Aaron Hicks is the most recent example.
Yep, exactly.
Sore fucking asshole, disappear for the year, and he's now playing golf somewhere probably. And fuck him, by the way. And and now you got guys that realize how much it means to be a Yankee, and they don't have the privilege of having $20 million in their fucking bank account. So they have to play to earn their spot. And you see the difference that makes.
I mean, it's a huge difference. It was the same thing with the next man up mentality. It's this is next man up 2.0. Because in 2019 you had the guys that were either sent out from other teams that they didn't really think they had, that were good enough to play. Look at Urshela. Look at when, the way Voigt was playing when he got here. We had guys near that we thought were on the tail end of their career, like a McCutcheon, that really just embraced the fact that they were playing for the Bronx and, made the best of the opportunity.
McCutcheon's tearing it up for the
now you see that again. And that's what's refreshing.
It is refreshing, although McCutcheon's tearing it up for the Phillies.
Yeah.
He was never done. He was a all-star caliber player that we got lucky to bring in for that one year. But the rest of the examples you're spot on, and we love Urshela. So this team's only going to get better when Urshela and Judge are back.
Yeah, that's why I was like, well, what's going to happen to the chemistry? The guys that are out are not, they're not busts.
Yeah.
So when they do come back, you're going to see it. I think it's just going to, it's going to be the same thing. We're going to see the same excitement, because when this team is playing the way they are right now, you could just see, even when Judge and Urshela come back, they play with that same energy. Even before they were put on the COVID protocol. So they're just gonna blend right back into it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not rushing to see Frazier or Andujar. Though I like Andujar.
Well, those are the two guys that are
and as an offensive guy, but I don't like him in the outfield, and Frazier's a disaster. So I want this outfield alignment along with Judge, and then blessedly when Gio was healthy, that means that we don't have to see Wade, at least, for most of the games. So that would be a fucking positive. And, and we ride that, that'd be great. And then, of course, we're going to have Super Mario back. He should be our fifth starter, Cortez.
Yeah.
And then Loaizaga, he's basically the heart of our bullpen, Loaizaga. So I can't wait to.
Loaizaga was we could have used him yesterday. Not having Loaizaga and Cortez and the both of them actually in yesterday's game is really that game was shouldn't have even been a safe situation, and I think it would have been a 3-run game. Had we had them in the line in the bullpen rather.
Aaron Boone really fucking did an awful job yesterday, and he got bailed out by guys that were playing their asses off. I mean, he once again clutched defeat from the jaws of victory, putting in Nick Nelson when Britton had a bases loaded situation, 1 out. And I'm not saying Britton pitched well; he didn't. However, he's a ground ball pitcher. He can induce a ground ball with one pitch. Yeah. So there's every opportunity that one sinker was going to induce a ground ball and a double play and get us out of the inning. But instead he put in Nick fucking Nelson. And see, that was my worry, is because the Yankees are so focused on the next series that it could have backfired this time because they didn't have Chad Green available or certain guys available. And it was a risky business. And we got lucky on this occasion because I'm telling you, Wojciechowski or whatever his fucking name is, he sucks. Holy shit, he sucks.
Well, was he? The sad part about it is when you're watching, you could just see he was just not there. But when you look at the box score, he had he only gave up the 2 runs.
Yeah,
which I think was kind of like that was a blessing in disguise that it was only 2 runs.
Yeah, the box score, it tells a different story.
Yeah, exactly.
The box score says, we did okay. But in reality, if you watched it, he was leaving belt-high fastballs over the middle of the plate. And the only plus pitch that he had was a slider. And that's what he was getting swings and misses from. But when he left those fastballs over the plate, I don't understand why the Phillies weren't crushing it, because they were right there. I mean, those are batting practice fastballs he was leaving over the plate. And they just seemed a little late on it, or they just the Phillies, they really should have crushed them. And they really should have crushed Nick Nelson more than they did. I'm really surprised because none of these guys pitched well. We walked 11 guys. We walked 11 Phillies yesterday. Normally, with the wild pitches, and which we got a lot of them, and the 11 walks, and normally that would mean about 22 runs against us. So we got very fucking lucky that we pulled out that win. It was more luck than design, I think, really, from the pitching staff.
When you look at Ash's line in the box score, you got 4 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts, 1 home run.
The one home run was the first pitch of the game.
It was the
Have you ever seen that before?
No, it's the first pitch. I've seen it. The leadoff batter get it on the first pitch. That
is crazy. It was like Michael K. And it's time for base. Oh.
Speaking of Michael K, did you catch the fucking buzzer comment? After Lamar's walk-off?
What did he say?
He's like, they're ripping Lamar's shirt off, and he's like, the shirt's coming off, and no buzzer.
Nice one, bro. K with the fire.
He was so quick with it. I'm like, all right. I said, that was funny.
K bringing the fire. I like it.
So, shout out to K. That was very quick thinking. You can't plan that kind of comment.
No, he is very quick. If you listen to his show, he's very quick. Usually, when he's not, sucking up to Aaron Boone, he's very funny.
Yeah,
and smart. So I like that.
That's what it is with Kay on the broadcast is different than the radio show. The radio show he's more. I think he comes off more real. Where on the broadcast he comes off as a Yankee employee sometimes. I think that's where he gets a lot of heat.
A little bit. Yeah.
It's not drastic, but it's
semi-carefully.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get the best comments from David Cohn. He's just terrific.
Yeah. And with going back to the bullpen with Britton, I'm giving a pass right now. I would give him maybe his next 3 outings. I would give him a pass on because he is coming back from the injury. He came back. He got injured right away again. So he's still trying to find because his velocity is down also. So he hasn't got his velocity back.
It's down at least 5 miles an hour, sometimes 6. He's usually pitching 96, and he was pitching 91-90 yesterday, and that's such a huge drop off.
Yeah. Cat.
Oh, Tony was like, okay. Fucking cats.
Yep. I didn't realize she was hiding in the back in the Yankee room here. And then all of a sudden I see a head pop up from behind the TV stand. I'm like, oh, okay.
No, but I was saying, he's basically not pitched all year. So it is going to take him time. And when he's back and healthy, he could easily be our closer, He really could be because he's never really let us down. I can't think of many occasions that Britton's ever let us down.
No, that's why I'm kind of giving him a little bit of a pass,
Oh yeah.
And I like I said, if after the trade deadline, if he's still having an issue, then that would be a flag for me.
And now Chapman. Now this is interesting because I'm wondering whether his problems is because of that split nail that he's got right down the middle finger that he's got. Do you know if your middle finger is compromised where you're throwing the ball, that affects so much. Because that's where you grip the seams of your ball. So that affects your 4-seam fastball, and it affects your splitter. And that's why he's not throwing a splitter in God knows how long. And that's why he's not commanding his fastball. And it affects so much because it obviously hurts and affects the grip of the ball. So I think that's what it was. And what I quite liked was that he again showed a bit of tough mentality because Aaron Boone, came up to check and see how he was doing because, he was getting a little bit of trouble and he looked sore. And he just like, no, I'm going to fucking gut it out. And on his very last pitch of the game, he of that inning, he threw 101 miles an hour, which is as fast as he's thrown in weeks. So
we saw that the first game with the Phillies. That he got he was hitting 103 on the radar. So the velocity.
Would you say it's health related then, his problems, or not?
I think it was more health related than mechanics.
Right.
The nail. I think it was also a little mental hiccup. Any closer, any reliever. When you're not performing, it weighs on you. Especially if you screw up in in a key game, it really, not everybody has the same mental fortitude as guys that we've seen be able to just snap right out of it. Where you had a pitcher like Mariano, nothing phased him. If he got lit up one game, you would never know it the next game. And that's a rare player to be able to do that. Look at what we've seen with Sanchez and Torres, and Andujar, Frazier, all these guys. They get into their own head. That's and now they're coming out of their own head, and they're just playing fun baseball. And look at the result. That's why for me the key to the game. I don't care what happened in the first 9 innings. That bunt that Torres laid down was the play of the game. To have the confidence to be, in yourself, to be able to do that. I think that was the key, in my opinion.
Well, it was a good sign. It was a good sign. There was a lot of key moments. I mean, I thought Stanton, our 2-out RBI single was important too, and I mean Odor's massive home run. I mean, there was a lot of moments. It was a fun game to watch because there was a lot of things that happened. We could easily have won the game when that guy fucking dropped the ball in the outfield when from Stanton's, line drive, and I thought that was it. I thought that was game over.
Actually,
so there were so many.
The Odor home run proved large, in the fact that maybe because it was such a shocking moment with Torres, it's just stuck in my head.
It was seeing a Yankee that can actually bunt the ball properly. Yeah,
well, like Jordan Susan always say, you can't predict baseball. Who predicted that?
But that's what I've been saying so much. There's just such a problem with analytics is they don't respect any type of out. So like sometimes you can actually have a productive out. If your out moves that runner over to in a scoring position, that is a productive out. You can actually have productive outs that is going to successfully push you on in the inning. But that's why the analytics don't pick up on that, and that's why they don't like sacrifice bunts. And but if you put the ball in play, things can happen. If you put the ball in play, errors can happen. As you saw there from Stanton's easy catch there, and the guy just dropped it. He could easily have our third base coach easily could have sent LeMahieu in, and we probably would have scored on had he, if he wanted to do that. So that's what I'm saying. If you put the ball in play, things can happen. But the Yankees were afraid to do it for so much of this year. But now you're sort of seeing it now, and runs are scoring, and wins are happening. It's not a surprise to me.
And back to Odor's home run. Yet again, he can go 0 for 20 when the at bat matters. This guy always, it seems he always comes through.
Yeah,
such a clutch hitter in a world where clutch players don't exist. And so, maybe I need to, maybe the Odor home run was more of a key to the game than the Torres bunt. That.
Well, it was key because those extra runs allowed us to give us a little bit of leeway from Nick Nelson blowing it. Because if Nick Nelson just came in and we were only at a 1-run lead, then we lost the game. So
having that cushion was a blessing.
Very much a blessing.
So what would you say? Well, what are your awards from yesterday?
Okay, this should shut the Boo Birds up for at least an inning. Award goes to Stanton for his 2-out RBI single. Did you notice he got booed every at bat prior?
It's terrible.
Fucking ridiculous. The guy struck out, even though he hit a big home run the night before to win the game and had 2 hits the night before. Still got booed. His very first at bat, which he struck out, is fucking disgusting. But he shut him up and got an RBI. So give him that award. The Odor damn award goes to Odor for his massive moonshot into the upper decks in right field. That was
a shot.
Yeah, and I love he's now so cool that he's just kind of just drops the bat, just like, yeah, fucking right. I'm a door, bitch. So I like that. Charlie Hustle Award goes to Alan, and the I Suck More Than a Paris Hilton Movie award goes to Nick Nelson.
I think that's your best award.
and the Clutch Award goes to Lamar, and the Attitude Award goes to Lamar too for going, let's fucking go. But you can see him audibly go, fucking rock. Fucking great, man.
I have to say it one more time. The way this team is just making the game fun again for and at least giving us something to watch is it speaks volumes, especially to the mood, because last week we were not happy at all, and here we are, what was it, 4-game winning streak, we're catching fire, unfortunately we had, with Boston and Tampa winning, we didn't really gain any ground, but we're not losing ground. And
Oakland are a 2-game winning streak as well, so they've still got a 3.5 game lead for the second wild card. So we're our backs are very up against it.
Yeah.
And this is a big series coming up. Boston and then Tampa Bay. And then we go on the road to a National League ballpark in Miami.
Yep.
So the Marlins will be interesting. I guess maybe Steve Stanton. We'll see. We don't know. So there's a tough run of games coming up, man.
Yep.
So we ain't won nothing yet, but at least the brand of baseball is a little bit more fun. And
exactly.
And again,
the brand of baseball is giving the fans hope that maybe this team should not be written off so easily.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. There's a good chance that now we've basically put ourselves in a position where on acquisition for a pitcher and a bat would go a long way to helping us on our wild card run. But we've still got a big problem, and his problem is called Aaron Boone. He is a fucking bad manager. So
yeah. Well, this 4-game series against Boston, like I said, the worst they could do is split.
Yeah.
If they lose 3 out of 4, it's gonna infuriate the entire fan base. Twitter will probably be unbearable, and it's gonna, that's gonna decide what they do at the trade deadline. That
You're right.
it can't be said enough. We've been saying there were a couple of series we said, they have to win this series. They have to win. No, they have to win this series.
Well, at least a sweep. Sorry, at least a sweep. Sorry, at least a share. At least a share of the 4-game series. Yeah. That would be okay considering where we are.
If they sweep this series against Boston,
be genius.
I bet you we'll actually see Evan smile.
I don't think so. In fact, I'm certain. No, never see Evan smile.
I can hope. I can hope.
I've never seen him smile.
So, all right, well, we're gonna wrap things up here.
Do you have any?
I feel better of, and hopefully back with us tomorrow.
Do you have any Yankee moments? Any history?
Actually, I did write one little thing down.
All right, let's hear it.
So, 1995, on Babe Ruth's, what would have been his 100th birthday, Mickey Mantle attended his final Old Timers Day after passing away 22 days later. So yeah, today in 1995, Mantle was in the stadium for the last time.
Oh, I love Mickey.
Yeah, what a shame. he's still revered as one of the best ball players ever. You know,
Oh yeah.
and I think that I would. A lot of players, I think, need to go back and watch not watch old film of themselves, but watch old film from yesteryear and watch how that game was played. It's so important that these players, they don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but it doesn't seem like they really focus on the. There's not enough attention to the history of the game
Of
amongst
course.
this
I think this would be a good time to promote one of our episodes from our previous alias, when Ron Blomberg was on with us. That was such a great interview because he reminded us of the way the baseball was played, and it was played for fucking 100 years up until the analytics era, as kind of messed up with that, but the purity of baseball, Ron Blomberg's discussion on that, and his memories of Thurman Munson,
Yeah,
and the era in the '70s, and he was a fantastic hitter, a pure hitter, and it was and a great guy. So I think any listeners should go and watch that previous episode. I think you
it's
guys can.
episode 120 on the old under the old name.
Good job, Tats. Yeah. So, but further to your point, man, I think it's really hard for the older generation, and I even count myself in the older generation, even as
We are the older
a
generation.
kid growing up in the '90s, the late '80s, '90s. That's how baseball. I always knew baseball to be played, so this is very new to me, and difficult for me to catch on to, because the older way it was played was so much fun. Oh my god, it's great.
Yeah, well, it wasn't about launch angle and exit velo. You didn't even never heard of those terms.
No.
It was a home run or it was a single, double, or triple. You know, that was it. It was no
Putting
whether
the
it
ball in
was
play was actually like
whether
celebrated, even if you got an out, but it was a productive out where you
yeah,
did a hit and run or anything like that, where you could put that runner in scoring position, and lay it on for your teammate, was celebrated because that's what baseball is all about. Put the ball in play, action, activity. It was fun to watch, and it was great to go to the ballpark. That was when the ballpark was a hell of a lot cheaper
yeah,
to, you know what I mean? You could get a seat in the bleachers for like $3 or $5. I remember me and my grandpa, we went to a Yankee game, and then he's like, "Hey, do you want to just go to another one tomorrow?" I was like, "Okay." So he just walked into the fucking ticket booth and got one. And you could do that back in the old stadium for like a couple of bucks, and then that was it. And it was, and you got the beauty of watching our dynasty team for a fucking very affordable amount of money. Now you have to pay like $600 just to sit closer to the front where everybody's on their iPads, not even paying attention.
yeah.
So
And if you don't have, if you're on a low income, forget going to a game because it's either go to a ball game or pay a mortgage, or your rent.
exactly.
Going to a game sometimes is more than what people's rent is, and that's embarrassing.
And especially with the way the Yankees have played the last few years with the product of this boring ass, horrifying baseball that they play, and they expect the Yankee fans to pay ungodly amounts of money to watch it. You know what I mean? So on these last couple of games is kind of a throwback to the previous era. Put the ball in play. Guys that are excited to wear the pinstripes, and you see the difference.
Which is why when we were talking about how much fun the game was, that's why I picked that as one of the promo cuts from yesterday's episode, because when we were talking about that, because it's so freaking true. It really is. When the game is fun, it's fun. If it's not fun, it's not a game. They're just going to work.
Yeah.
And half of them aren't even putting in a full day's work. When you're having fun, there's no, it's just a different atmosphere. So I really hope this continues, even especially when Michelle and Judge come back. I think Florial, Allen, hopefully the both of them, but one of them have to stay up.
Hopefully the both, man. I'm loving with because we don't even mention Florial in this episode. I loved what Florial's been giving. He stole a base also.
Yeah.
He got a single. He almost got another one. He was robbed of another one. He's putting the ball in play and doing great out there. So,
Yeah, I know it
once
was
again
only
shows that the Yankees need to start playing their young guys. They need to start trusting their younger players. It's a
yeah.
big problem because they don't do it. They rely on dudes that are in their 30s and don't give a fuck. And they need to be playing the guys that are playing for their fucking careers or are playing for their future. And you get upside that way. And you're learning something about Florio, which you wouldn't have learned prior
Yeah.
to calling up. Now you can see that he actually can handle big league pitching.
Yep. Yeah. No, his at bats have been, he had his first home run. He's running the bases, but he's a patient hitter.
Oh yeah, he draws a lot of
Yeah.
late counts on a walk, whatever. Yeah, he definitely does.
And sometimes that's just as important because you're also giving the guy in the on deck circle a better look at what the pitch is throwing.
Of course.
So
Well, once you're going to full counts, then you've basically seen his entire arsenal. So yeah, you've got a good chance.
Exactly. And the more pitches the pitcher has to throw, the more likely the pitcher is to make the mistake.
Yeah.
So, and the Yankees, have benefited from that. Yeah. So, a lot of them have been going deep into the count. Or taking advantage of those first pitches right down the middle and trying to put them in play.
Yeah. No, you're right.
The offense is it's what a difference a couple of fresh faces make. So it's going to be interesting to see how the next 4 games go going into the deadline. This is such a crucial series.
Well, let's take out the dirty laundry and beat Boston tonight.
That's it. That's all we got to do. So, on behalf of everybody at Pinstripe Chronicles podcast, just hope you like, share, comment, and subscribe. Check out our social media links in the description. And just remember, wear your pinstripes for pride and play hard.